Think you're safe on a cruise ship vacation? Think again. This is Chris with Branson's Best Shows, and I just returned from a cruise where I discovered the top 10 hidden dangers that could turn your dream vacation into a nightmare. Buckle up and let's dive into the dark side of cruise ships. Let's start with the number one danger, going overboard. Come to find out that 23% of all deaths on cruise ships are from going overboard, either voluntarily or by accident. In fact, Travis Hagee, who tracks tourist death around the world at Bowling Green State University of Ohio, said, "It's a lot more common than people think." Just this May, an 18-year-old basketball star, Cameron Robbins, jumped off a cruise ship on a dare. And now it appears this recent high school graduate may have been eaten by a shark. Robbins was on a cruise ship celebrating his recent high school graduation when he was dared to leap into the water. He was thrown a life preserver but swam away from it. Apparently, he saw a large tiger shark in the water near this life-saving device. Unfortunately, the search for him was called off 2 days later. That same month, Ronnie Pill Jr., 35, fell from his room balcony and went overboard from a Carnival Magic cruise ship traveling off the coast of Florida. After searching for more than 5,000 square miles and over the course of 60 hours, the Coast Guard suspended the search. So going overboard isn't just some far-off one-in-a-million thing. They are a real and reoccurring issue. And that's just one of the dangers on a cruise ship. Sometimes dangers can arise accidentally, while other times it's actually intentional. Now, a lot of folks here know I'm the general manager of the Americana Theater, so ensuring safety takes the top spot on my priority list. Now, there's various aspects of live music shows that can potentially pose risk to the audience, and none seem to be more hazardous than the use of lasers. In the United States, it's a whole process to obtain a special permit from the government for the use of powerful lasers for entertainment purposes. And let me tell you, one of the most significant concerns is the risk of shining these lasers directly in the audience's eyes. These lasers can easily damage or even blind someone almost instantly. Surprisingly, I recently observed this danger happening repeatedly during a cruise ship show. So I decided to have a chat with a technical manager. Come to find out, his name was Igor, and he was from Serbia. Yes, you can't make that up. Now let me paint the picture here. I approached him with genuine concern, fully acknowledging the efforts that go into putting on a show like this. But what I encountered was a burst of anger in his eyes. Seemingly offended, I dared to question his methods. I even complimented the show, but that seemed to go right over his head. When I broached the topic of safety, specifically mentioning the FDA's warning, he abruptly interrupted me and asked, "What does the FDA stand for?" This is where things got even more perplexing. He explained that since they were operating in international waters, they apparently didn't feel obliged to follow the FDA guidelines. It was as if being in international waters granted them immunity from such concerns. I didn't back down though. I pointed out the potential harm they were causing their customers' retinas and the looming threat of lawsuits. His response? A confident assertion that their company was substantial enough not to be bothered with such legalities since they were international. This entire interaction made me realize that assuming everyone on board a cruise ship prioritizes passenger safety and well-being might be a bit too optimistic. It was a stark reminder that even when you hold a managerial position overseeing an entire department, concern for people's safety can sometimes take a back seat. Now, there is not just danger on the ship, but off it as well. Cruise ships are meticulous about their schedule. You might think it's a no-brainer to make it back to the ship in time, but life has a knack of throwing unexpected curveballs. Delays, transportation snafus, and misjudgments about local conditions can all conspire against you, leading to the gut-wrenching sight of your ship vanishing in the distance. Here's the kicker. The responsibility for this catastrophe lands squarely on your shoulders. Unlike airlines that may offer alternative flights, Cruise ships offer no such relief. When you're left behind, the ordeal is all on you. You're left scrambling to figure out how to get to the next port, find a roof over your head, and untangle the logistical puzzle of rejoining your cruise at a different destination. Now, one place you will not face these kind of dangers is Branson, Missouri, especially at the Americana Theater, our sponsor theater. You can come see the shows safely for half price using the promo code BBS on our website, AmericanaTheaterBranson.com, or calling our box office. Now, even if you're able to keep the rigid cruise ship schedule, that doesn't mean you're safe off the ship. Here's a scenario many have faced. You're in a foreign country, eager to absorb the local atmosphere, and suddenly a seemingly friendly local approaches you with an enticing offer or a heart-wrenching tale. These scams can fool the most savvy of tourists. In fact, I heard a story of a tourist that was exploring the winding streets of Jamaica. He encountered a friendly local guide who promised to show him the city's hidden gems. Trusting the warm hospitality he had experienced during his trip, he agreed. However, as they ventured deeper into the labyrinths of alleys, the guide suddenly demanded an exorbitant fee for his services. Feeling trapped and uncertain, this tourist eventually gave in to the demands, realizing he had been cleverly scammed by this seemingly friendly guide. But these last two dangers of being scammed or being left behind are not even the worst that you can face off the ship. Even though shore excursions promise a deeper connection with the destination, they also take passengers away from the controlled environment of the cruise ship. In some regions, tourists can unwittingly become targets for criminal activity, including kidnapping. Those offering these excursions may not always have the same safety standards or background checks as cruise lines, increasing the vulnerability of participants to potentially dangerous situations. Being kidnapped in a foreign country during an excursion is a nightmare scenario that can unfold when individuals venture into unfamiliar surroundings without sufficient precautions. But as we have seen, once you're back on the cruise ship, you're not necessarily safe. NBC Nightly News aired a two-part investigation into sexual assault on cruise ships. Of the many cases, almost a third of them are assaults on children. The common comment you hear is that parents need to be supervising their children while on a cruise. This may be true, but sexual assaults can take place even with the most attentive parents are involved. Children have been assaulted during cruises in shipboard child care facilities, as well as in their cabin by cabin attendants who meet the children and their family members during the cruise. Another common scenario is older passengers who have access to alcohol and targeting underage girls during the cruise. When an assault occurs, the FBI routinely does not follow up with their initial investigation or interview with the victim. Prosecution of shipboard predators by the U.S. Department of Justice are rare, and the predators know it. Which leads us to another hidden danger on cruise ships. The lack of protection provided by the federal government is considerably different from what you might expect on land. Unlike many forms of travel, cruise ships operate under what is known as flag of convenience, registering in countries that offer favorable tax and regulatory environments. This can complicate matters when it comes to legal jurisdiction, as incidents that occurred on board may fall under the laws of the country where the ship is registered, rather than the passenger's home country. As a result, passengers may find themselves navigating legal systems that they're unfamiliar with and less protective than what they might encounter at home. Now, these last three dangers, no government or person could protect you from. It's just a product of the environment of a cruise ship. The confined spaces and close interactions provide a fertile ground for a rapid spread of extremely infectious diseases. I rarely get sick and am often around a great deal of people, and even I caught something on the cruise. These vessels, often like floating towns, are designed to create a sense of community and shared experiences. Unfortunately, this tight-knit environment also facilitates the transmission of viruses and bacteria. The norovirus, often colloquially referred to as the cruise ship virus, is a prime example of this lurking danger. This highly contagious bug can spread like wildfire due to its ability to survive on surfaces for extended periods. An outbreak can cause severe gastrointestinal distress, leaving passengers and crew incapacitated and leading to a quarantine of affected individuals, which in turn totally destroys your experience. Also, one of the allures of a cruise ship vacation is the indulgent buffets and gourmet dining experiences. Yet, hidden beneath the glitz and glamour is a lurking danger that can rapidly turn an idyllic voyage into a nightmare. That is food poisoning. The confined environments of cruise ships, coupled with the complexity of food preparation and storage, makes outbreak of foodborne illnesses a reoccurring concern. Harmful bacteria like Salmonella or E. coli can thrive, spreading swiftly through shared utensils, serving stations, and communal dining areas. Now the next danger affected everyone on a cruise ship all at once, and it could happen again. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck, cruise ships quickly became emblematic of the virus's rapid spread. Faced with a fast-evolving public health crisis, numerous cruise lines were compelled to enact stringent quarantine measures to contain the outbreaks on board. Passengers found themselves confined to their cabins for extended periods. The experience of being stuck on a cruise ship during lockdowns was a roller coaster of emotions. Passengers felt a mix of frustrations, uncertainty, and fear. It was surreal and distressing time for those on board. And unfortunately, anytime you were out in the middle of the ocean, it could happen again. But you will not face this if you come to Branson, Missouri. So check out these other videos about a much better vacation spot than a cruise ship. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.